Yo, what's up? This is your boy Robert Medley coming straight out of the Medley Media Podcast, the dopest podcast in North Carolina. Yeah, I said it. The dopest podcast in North Carolina. And today we got a new guest in the building, Miss Evie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay. Well, since it's your first time on the podcast, we're going to get into like your whole life. It's exactly where are you from?
I'm Puerto Rican, born in Puerto Rico. I'm from New York and now in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Okay. What part of New York?
Brooklyn, Staten Island.
Brooklyn. Okay. Bed-Stuy?
Nah, Sunset Park.
Sunset Park?
Not
Okay.
far.
Okay. I haven't been to New York like that. So I think whenever I went to New York, it was Harlem. I was in Harlem because
Yeah.
we went to Apollo.
The city.
Yeah.
New York
So
City.
have you ever been to Apollo?
I have actually.
It's very small.
It's
like
very tiny.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
you
when
would
I
think it's bigger.
yeah, when I used to see it on TV, it looked
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
And then when I walked in there, I was like, damn, this looked like a like,
staging,
a hole in the
like-
wall, yeah. But legendary, shout out to the legendary Apollo. So, okay, now tell me about your life growing up, in New York.
My life growing up. I grew up in a building most of my life till I was like 12. And my parents bought their first house when I was 12, which, then I moved out. I was married by 16.
Mm. You
So-
was married at 16?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good for a long time.
Okay.
It was good for a long time.
How long y'all married?
We were married for about 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. That is a long time, and it's
It's
very
a long time.
Yeah, it is. It is. But how was that? Like, marrying so young.
So I was kind of like an old soul growing up. I started working when I was like 12. I was making like $3 an hour. And I always, I don't know, like I felt like an adult really young. So I already had a really good job at 16.
Okay.
We had our own place. We bought our first house. I was 21. We had my daughter at 22.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a different world now, but
Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Yeah. So,
it's good.
all right. So, would you recommend, another 16-year-old marrying that young, or if you had a chance to do it over, would you do it? Again from 16, or would you wait?
I don't think I would have changed anything about my life because I wouldn't be where I am.
Facts.
And I try my best not to judge because every circumstance is so different, right? Like you can have a 16-year-old who never had stability, who never had family, and then they end up married and they have home, right? Like
Yeah.
home lives in a person. So I don't know. I don't really have an opinion either way. I never lacked anything. My parents, I didn't have like, brand name sneakers and stuff all the time. My brother did, but I didn't. But my parents gave us everything we needed. We had a good life. There was no need, definitely no need to get married at all,
Yeah.
right? But I was, my dad and my parents are pretty religious.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was at the age where I was kind of curious and they weren't going to have that. So it was like get married and get out or, zip it up.
Oh, I feel you.
You know,
I feel you.
it was
Yeah.
just a different, some people are living in that now, though. We say it's
Yeah.
a different time, but some people are being raised in, in an environment like that now. So I don't really have an opinion either way.
Okay, so you was ready to get out of your parents' house.
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Because I had a good life. Like I have really good parents. My dad was always very present, protective. He provided for us. If they struggled, we never knew of it. Because we weren't really materialistic, so the lack of like material things wasn't our thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I had no need, but I was, the adult things were like starting to be tempting, and
Yeah.
my dad would have kicked my ass. So
Oh, okay. Yeah. My life was probably really opposite. My parents. Well, my mom worked like 3 jobs just to keep a roof over her head. My dad was in the streets a lot. So, I started working when I was 13 years old at a place called Mr. Bill's Place, washing dishes from like 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock. But it did teach me, to have your own money,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like I try to embed that in, my nieces and nephews to, work, have your own money,
Yeah.
don't ask nobody for shit, because nothing's promised, what I'm saying,
Yeah.
that your parents are not going to be here tomorrow and help you out and do all that stuff.
Yeah, and honestly, like I saw my parents hustling. My dad would come home really late. He was a tractor driver.
Oh, okay.
And my mom was a teacher, but she didn't make enough. So my mom hustled jewelry. My mom sold like pasteles underneath the BQE in Brooklyn. Like I saw
Okay.
them hustle hard, but for us, working hard, like for me, working hard is natural. Like I'll work in my sleep. It's ingrained in me. I saw my parents do it. But as a child, growing up, that was normal for me. I didn't feel like I lacked anything.
Yeah.
As an adult, I understand that it taught me work ethic and it taught me how to work hard, and I have a lot of the principles I have because of what I saw them do. But I still, as a kid, didn't. You don't.
Yeah.
I didn't have a need to leave my parents' house.
I feel you.
Like
I
my
feel
mom, my mom, and my dad had to hustle forever to make sure we were okay. Like they would have done it.
you. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you have 2 kids now, you know what I'm saying? So what was life for, because I just seen that you just came to North Carolina recently, probably, 3-4 years ago. So how was that transition coming from New York to North Carolina, and why North Carolina?
It was so weird. It was like it was such a blind move. My business was had been really picking up in the last. I moved here in 2020, as the world was shutting down. So when we moved to North Carolina, everything was shut down.
Wow.
Everything. There was nothing open. So about a year or two before that, my business was really thriving, and my kids were growing up. I think Desi was a little older. And she's a girl, so it was, it's a little different when you raise a boy. But I was pretty nervous for my son growing up in New York, in the environment. I don't know. And he had been hinting at wanting to leave. So one day Desi came home and she's like, let's leave New York. And I jumped on it. And right away we went to an app and we saw the house is beautiful, about 2 acres, pool house, like
Wow.
gorgeous. Like you would not find something like this in New York
Yeah,
for under
definitely.
$3 million. You just
Definitely.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just going to put a bid on it. And then we went into contract in 2 days. And I don't have any history in Greensboro. I have no family here. It was just, I feel like this is where God wanted to plant this seed.
Yeah. And it takes a lot of guts too for you to just move, because a lot of people are set in their ways.
Yeah.
And, knowing that that's where your family's from, people want to stay in that bubble.
Yeah.
So I do commend you for just, taking your family and then going to a different state, you know what I'm saying? So
I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't make the jump because of financial restraints and jobs and
Yeah.
thankfully because of what I do, I can do what I do from
Anywhere. Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful for the way the city has received me and the friendships that we've been able to build. I travel a lot back and forth. But yeah, it's been 3 years.
Wow. Well,
3 years.
welcome to North Carolina, North Cackalack. So, okay, now speaking of your business, and you said you picked up, I saw that you do HerbalLife. So tell me a little bit about your HerbalLife journey.
So I started for skin. I started for our aloe, and I just was really stealing it from my mom. She was already using the products, and I didn't. I didn't know about the brand. I didn't know about the different structure company was. It's an MLM, network marketing. I didn't really care about any of that stuff. I just loved the products. So I was a really good client for about a year. And then my ex-husband crashed his work truck, and he needed something to do. And my mom had been doing the business. She was a teacher, and she left her teaching job after 6 months to do HerbalLife full time. She opened up like a storefront, and he needed something to do. I was managing law firms at the time, making like really good money, mid to high 6-figure income. And but he wanted something to do, and we took a look at HerbalLife, and he did it. And then a year after we opened up that shop, we divorced. We separated and started divorcing. So that shop kind of stayed mute for a while. I didn't really see doing Herbalife for myself only because I didn't understand freedom. You know,
Yeah.
like I only remember I was raised like watching my parents hustle, like
Hmm.
jobs, like them worrying about benefits and like
Yeah.
all of this stuff. And, you know, you're getting paid every week or 2 weeks. And like
Yeah.
that's all we learned growing up.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so
Yeah.
I never even considered it for myself because I was making so much money at work, you know?
Hmm. Yeah.
And then I had lost about 90 pounds my first 6 months. Just increasing my water intake, stopping the juices and the drinks and switching them off for like the vitamins and like the loaded, you know, teas and stuff like that. And then people started asking me what I was doing. And I'm like, I go to my mom and I'm like, hey, does this stuff make you lose weight? People telling me I'm losing weight. She's like, well, I've lost 60 pounds. And I'm like, how have you lost 60 pounds? She's like, well, I'm doing this. And I'm like, well, get me on that.
Hmm.
So I got on a full weight loss program. Obviously, I had started to lose weight because I was in a calorie deficit because I was switching the sugary drinks, right, for
Hmm.
like more natural, low calorie, like full of vitamin stuff.
Hmm.
And my skin had like drastically cleared up because I had, you know, changed my diet. My energy was different. And about 7 to 8 years later, so I was a client for about 6 to 7 years. The
Hmm.
shop was still there, it was operating, but without me. And we started when we finalized the divorce. I was like, okay, I need to do something.
Hmm.
You know, like I don't. My law firm was disintegrating. The partners couldn't get along, and they broke. You know, they dissolved. They were dissolving the law firm, and I was getting offers from other places. You know, and my friend owns an amazing operation in New Jersey. He's like, come work for me. I'll pay you really well. And I was already like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to leave my kids without a second parent. My mom's raising them at this point, or I'm going to have to hire someone to take care of them. Like, because they, you know, their dad was already out of their household, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to do unemployment for a while and I'm going to try to make $50 a day. And I started making $50 a day, then $100 a day, then
Hmm.
$200 a day. And I was like, hold on. Then I started helping people. I love to help people. So when I started helping people make $50 a day and $100 a day, and then they were changing their outcome, they were getting new cars and they were being able to feed their families and they were being able to take care of themselves. And then the more people I helped, the more it was weird. It's
Yeah.
like, how am I making money just helping other people? I didn't understand any of this.
Yeah.
I legit run my business like a law firm.
Yeah. That's
It's
good. That's that
yeah,
hustler mindset.
yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, well, another thing, like you say that, you know, y'all was going through a divorce and everything. Now, what was that transition like from you being, you know, married, having your two kids and then going into, you know, being a single mother? You know, how was that transition?
Um, it's so weird because I hardly never talk about this. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful for the opportunity to talk about it because I think I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't feel like I'm gonna respond from an emotional place.
Yeah.
Because it was definitely one of the hardest things I feel like divorce is mourning someone who hasn't died,
Bad.
or a version of someone.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say people confuse like single mom versus a mom who's single.
Mm-hmm.
Off of support, right? They're like, if you get child support. And I feel like, first of all, I raised my kids without child support for about 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know he couldn't. And then when I knew that he could and he had money to do other things, then obviously they're your children, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's time. So I
Yeah.
went to, I don't believe in arguing or chasing money.
Mm-hmm.
So I just handled it through court. And it was, a lot of people have opinions about that. I don't have an inch of in my bone who's like, wants to argue about money.
Yeah.
So it's like it was 4 years that nothing was asked of you. And I was helping you whenever I could. So this is the time where it's like you can take care of yourself. You can also take care of your kids.
Okay.
And he's really great with that. Like he's never been mad, about like he understood my process.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like I take him back every 3 years. It's not that kind of thing. So when people say single mom, no, they have a present dad, but no matter how you look at it, like when it's one household and it's two parents, it's very different than one parent. So I feel like I have put in 85% of the work in raising my kids by myself.
Yeah.
And that still makes me a very single mom, right? It's
Yes,
like
ma'am.
50% is nice, but I had a 100% present dad. Like,
Yeah.
I know what the difference is. So a lot of times I had to catch myself raising the kids and be like, I don't know what they're experiencing. So I have to be patient, like with my language, or being patient with like their ways, or like their processing of things, because I only know what it was like to be raised in a two-parent household,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's probably one of the most challenging things that I feel like I think I got it right, but it was challenging, you know?
Yeah, definitely sounds like it. Yeah. Yeah. Now, okay, now you speak about your how you was when, your husband left and everything. How was the kids? How did the kids respond to it?
Um, Thankfully they were small.
Okay.
And I feel like a lot of parents, and I'll say parents because I also do know of a lot of men raising their kids by themselves.
Yeah.
So I don't always think it's like the mom who's single. I think sometimes it's the dad who's doing 85% of the work. So however it works out, but they were small. They understood the difference. I think because I made sure that I was very stable and that I created a success plan. They felt it a lot less than other children have felt it, right? Like, I feel like a lot of women get lost in their emotion
Facts.
and they don't stay focused on the solution. And so the kids are going to feel it,
Oh, yeah.
right? And there
Yeah.
have been moments where my kids have felt it, where I've felt alone and where I felt desperate and I felt like I was failing as a mom. And it still makes me want to cry.
Yeah.
You know, like there were moments that they feel it, they felt it more than anyone because they have to live with me in my solace when I'm alone dealing with myself. Like, nobody has ever dealt with me like my kids have dealt with me. So they have definitely felt it.
Yeah.
But thankfully, when it initially happened, they were very little, and I didn't have a lot of explaining to do. So for them, it's more normal for us to be apart than for us to be together.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Okay. And stuff like that, because I did see that you try to keep the family tight. And I saw whenever we was doing Desi's on air performance how, you wanted to fix her hair. And it just looked like a close bond, even when I was doing like that upper shot and she was playing, you was playing with her hair. Like it looked so organic and, genuine and everything. So, yeah. So stuff like that will bring a family closer together. It seems like, well, put in perspective, me and my family don't talk like that. Like, we've never been close. You know what I'm saying? It's like, even when Thanksgiving dinners, people would get their own plate and then go their separate. It was never family holding hands, pray. Sad to say, but that's how we grew up. We never showed, emotion. Like, to this day, I've never told my brother, I love you. Or I gave him a hug or anything like this. It's just a dap, see you later, nigga. And that's it. But, that's just the way we were brought up with, try to have no emotions. But now, because I don't have any kids, I do want to be that way. You know what I'm saying? If I have a kid, show them love and respect and tell them I love you, kiss you on the cheek, whatever it does to show, family love. I definitely want to be like that. So yeah. But going back to your products and everything, I see that you have some goodies right there. So take me through like what each one is and what it does, because she gave me a shake. She gave me a shake this morning. She gave me a shake this morning. I ain't had no breakfast, so shout out to you. And this is pretty good too, man. This is really
full
good.
of vitamin B's, antioxidants.
Okay.
It's good for brain function, focus, energy.
See, I need to buy you something for that
So
because I be at my desk editing and I'll edit and then my brain gets foggy,
distracted.
like for real, like, and then I'll start watching a YouTube video and then something else and then something else and then I'll get back to editing and try to finish it up. It's very frustrating, but I do know that being a creator, it's like you have to balance yourself, and you know what I'm saying? Because
an artist's mind is
it's all over the place. It's all over the place, man, and a lot of people don't realize that. But yeah, take me through your products and what do you sell and how people can get in touch with you and all that good stuff.
So I sell products. It's so weird for me still, because honestly, it's like people people steer away or they fear MLM or network marketing for very obvious reasons. And I've had to learn this as I go because I never even knew what network marketing was. Like I'm like all law firm backgrounds.
Yeah.
So people fear it because of how like toxic the environments can be. Because remember, network marketing companies are distributor driven. So they're people driven. So basically you have like thousands of CEOs. They don't even know how to be a CEO, right? And they're mostly guiding with emotion, right? And so when you guide with emotion, like people end up feeling the negative stuff, right? And it has nothing to do with the structure or the company or the products. It has to do with the people, right? This is a people business. So a lot of people steer away from it for a lot of these like political reasons that people create, having nothing to do with the product. And for me, I'm like, I'm a product lover. Like if you come to my house, there's products in my car, there's products in my trunk, there's products in my glove compartment. My products. I'm not talking about selling products.
Okay.
I'm talking about I eat them. So I love the product. So for me, it's like, you could sell something or you could just share something you love. And like I started with one product I love, and then I found another product I love, and then honestly, there's such amazing products created with so much like science, with like there's so much nurturing. Like I've been inside of HerbalLife in the warehouses, like on the panels of like I went to the Senate to fight for HerbalLife when Bill Ackman came after us. Like it was like it's a big deal. And so to see the passion and the heart and the amount of like love that goes into creating the products, it's for me is all in the product, right? So I don't really like sell it more than I share it. Like I just feel like I'm giving HerbalLife to you. Like it's my gift to the world. It's like this thing helped me like pull out of the craziest places, like with my face, like because people think weight loss when they think HerbalLife, and obviously I wear the button, so I'm like, of course people would lean more towards like it's a weight loss company, right? But it helped me clear my skin.
Yeah.
And I don't care to be 200 pounds. If like at the time, I'm like, okay, like obviously for health reasons, it's better to have the acne and not have the weight.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
But for a female, I mean, men too, right? Having a pretty face is like important. So imagine like losing the pigment on the right side of your face. Like, your hair starting to turn white, having craters on your face, being skin sensitive to cancer, and then finding a solution through hydration. And I'm not saying it cured it. I'm just saying the way that you eat affects a lot of things. Yeah. So there's a protein bar. It's cool because everything is like low calorie, high nutrients, unless you go to the high calorie. Like, we do have high caloric options for people who want to gain weight, people who are muscle building, bodybuilding and stuff like that. But for the most part, everything's super smart. 10 grams of protein, 100 calories, super simple, perfect snack. The tea is an antioxidant. Okay. It's good for concentration, energy, helps to burn 80 to 100 calories every time you drink it.
Oh, wow.
The energy tablet, it's so funny. I'm going to show it. I'm just taking it. Take it on. And we can,
you're fine.
We can stop it here, right? But watch. So, are you supposed to? What does it look like?
It look a condom.
So I'll be trying
like a little ass condom.
Try this on me. You're gonna be like, wait, what?
Like a little ass condom.
No. So just go into the barbershops and just give all energy.
But like, what? Hold on now.
Guys, I want you guys to try this on me. It's so funny.
Okay, that's what's up.
So that's a vitamin. It's full of vitamin B's, but it's good for brain function.
And you put this in water?
Yeah, just put it in water. You can mix the products. You can have them alone. So I do a lot of mixing.
Yeah.
And then this is the collagen. I mean, these are what we call our mega tea kits.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And they're cool. This is an easy way for people to try it. So it's like $10.
Yeah.
They pay $10 for it. And then they get to try it.
Okay.
Without any obligation.
Cool. Now, is that for me?
I didn't expect to open this. Yeah, this is for you.
Okay. Cool. See, this is my first gift on the Medley Media podcast. See? And people have to do that, man. When you're talking about, your business and stuff like that, you got to bring something for the guests. You know what I'm saying? You got to give me something to try out. I appreciate that. Yeah. And I'm going to definitely, do that herbal tea because, like I said, man, my mind be like all over the place.
And and I
already feel it.
15 minutes,
start dancing, doing the robot? No, I'm playing.
Nah, you'll feel a lift.
Okay. Now, with Herbal Life and everything, financially, how's it helped you?
Okay.
Not to be all in your business, but somebody,
Listen,
anybody that want to know.
ask away, because that's how you inspire, right?
Yeah,
If you don't
exactly.
share that story, how am I going to
Exactly.
inspire? So I come from this world where I'm making like mid to high six figures with like my relationships and managing firms. And after the divorce, it was pretty bad. The emotional roller coaster of the divorce was pretty bad. So I feel like when you don't know how to manage your emotions, you don't care about anything.
Facts.
It's like, and then the long term ramifications of that are horrible. But no, like I didn't have anyone preparing me. Obviously, my mom can't prepare me for that because she's married to my dad 50 years.
Wow.
Nobody in my life is prepared to prepare me for divorce. And also, my marriage was like a trophy marriage. So like everybody loved us. Everybody loved us together. Nobody knew what was brewing inside, right? So it takes someone really strong to walk away from that. And people are like, why do they stay in? And you're like, because they don't have the financial means to leave.
Yeah.
Right? Most people stay.
But
Listen,
financial,
finances affect a lot of things.
Exactly.
They say that, what's the rate? I think it's like 70 or 80% of divorces happen
because
for
of
the lack
financial.
of $500.
Yeah.
It's like not a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right? So when I divorced, leading up to the point of the divorce, I stopped caring about everything. And like I didn't care about anything. And our finances just, it was like it was bad.
Yeah.
So we ended up selling the house. So we went from this beautiful big house in Edison, New Jersey, to basically selling the house for no profit, which basically means you lost the house, right? We didn't lose the house, but we sold it and made nothing. The cars, I couldn't afford the car if I was going to take the big pay cut, right? Going from surviving on unemployment is like going from mid six figures to high six figures to unemployment in New York. What are you doing with that? Right?
Yeah,
In my
exactly.
brain.
Yeah.
So I was preparing myself, and I basically went to my mom and I said, hey, I'm having some really hard problems here. And I want to know if I can stay with you for a while I figure out what to do. And so I did. I took me and the kids and we moved into this. The room was probably smaller than this.
Yeah.
So we went from like a 3-bedroom house to like a room, fitting all of that into like whatever we could in like this room in my mom's house. And I was so grateful.
Yeah.
Because we didn't end up in a shelter or whatnot. And in 6 months, I got to HerbalLife's tab team, which means that I was able to help other people generate a cumulative $20,000 a month minimum.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. And I was making my $100, $200, $300 a day.
Oh, wow.
Right? So it's a big deal. So in 6 months, I was able to get my apartment. I was able to buy my Range Rover, my first Range Rover that I later gave to Desi. So, and then, in 2020, we were able to just like buy a house and leave. And I was able to get my own Range Rover, right? The one I really wanted and couldn't afford when I pulled the first one out.
Okay.
And so I've been able to give
spoiled
the kids
rotten.
I've been able to give the kids stability.
Yeah,
I've
that's
been
what's
able
up.
to support, their dreams and allow them to be kind of, a little bit stress free. It was tight. There were times where we were tight, but I figured it out. Like this business has given me the business skills to be able to drive success. And I honestly feel like I can build any business from this business.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because of the lessons I've been able to learn here. So it's been very good. It's been really good to us.
Okay. All right. Now, no disrespect, when it comes to HerbalLife and selling and finance and stuff, but why do people say it's a pyramid scheme?
Because people don't understand, and I get it.
Yeah.
So do you remember like a few years ago, there was like this thing on Instagram that was pushing like cash apps?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
hey, by the money train?
Uh-huh.
That's a pyramid scheme.
Okay.
So a pyramid scheme basically says, I'm going to collect money and you don't know if you're going to get any benefit in exchange.
Mm-hmm.
You're just going to put something into it you don't know, right?
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah.
HerbalLife has 100% money back guarantee, right? And I don't know about other MLMs. I don't know. I know about mine. Like, I've never done anything else. I would never consider anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I get paid in like 6 to 7 different ways from one product.
Wow.
It's wild.
That's what's up.
Absolutely wild. So I feel like people say pyramid schemes because they feel like, first of all, my license costs $100, like $99 when I got it. Like, I make over $10,000 a month. It's a one-time fee.
Wow.
It's stupid. I can't say anything over $10,000 a month because we're not even allowed, right?
Yeah.
Because we're restricted. We're restricted by the government, but we're publicly traded. There's no secrets.
Yeah.
We have some of the best investors in the world on our side. Like Carl Icahn.
That's what's up.
It's ridiculous. So I feel like people think pyramid scheme because they just don't know. Like, I don't think you would see anybody who is, I don't know, of anybody who is like really understanding of how it operates and is smart enough to be like, oh, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Okay. Now, what, other than, selling HerbalLife and everything, do you do fitness coaching and stuff like that, or,
I do it for fun. I do it because I think activity is important. The more muscle you have, the more calories you burn at rest. Your body needs more muscle and less fat. You need very little visceral fat. It's dangerous. It causes high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes. People don't know that stuff. We're not taught these things.
Yeah.
Right?
And as you get older, you do have to worry about those things.
Yeah.
Like,
and every extra pound of bad fat on your body is 4 pounds of pressure on your knees.
See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So I encourage activity, even though I lost most of my weight without working out, because I wish I would have worked out, right? I would have had more muscle today. I would have had less work to do today if I would have been building the muscle and losing the fat at the same time. Yeah. So it's a little counterproductive, but I do believe in people starting wherever they're at.
Yeah, facts.
So if it's like, if activity feels too heavy for you right now, let's work on your nutrition.
Yeah.
If nutrition feels too heavy for you right now, let's work on taking walks and just like loading your water.
But that's 80% though, and people don't realize that your diet and is like 80%, and the other 20 is you working out.
Yeah, no, you have people going to the gym doing ab work every day.
Yeah. And eating a burger right after.
Your 6-pack is layered by 8 layers of fat.
Yeah. Wow.
Right?
Yeah. See, you teaching me something too. That's the thing. That's another market that you can. Yeah. Not saying you said you do it for fun, but that's another market that you can spin. You know what I'm saying? Like, because people don't know that knowledge, and people want to know, well, what do I eat for breakfast or what do I eat for lunch? And whenever I got into working out and stuff, like, because I play a lot of ball, but I used to eat really bad. But my metabolism has always been good. I guess I get that from my mom.
You're blessed.
Yeah, but I'm almost 40.
Like
but I'm almost 40 now, so I can see, like, the way that I eat. Well, I eat better now, but like a year ago, I was eating cookout almost every day because I'm shooting so many
shakes
videos.
Are good though, right?
I swear. And I'm not even supposed to be eating, drinking milk and shit like that because I'm lactose intolerant, but they are good. But, saying, coming from a person that, that eats really bad and still is, hyperactive.
Yeah.
What advice do you got for them for us, saying, like, what they need to eat for us breakfast, lunch, eating a snack? Because somebody told me, they was like, yo, you need to eat 6 meals a day.
Yeah.
Or, 6 to 8 meals a day. And I was like, how in the hell can I eat 6? Like, I don't eat a lot as it is. I eat probably 1 whole meal and then eat stuff in between, and that's it because I'm so busy. Yeah. But what advice do you have for people like me?
Well, I would say that no matter what the demographic of your body is, or what your metabolism is like, or what your body physically looks like, your body needs a certain amount of protein every day.
Facts.
A certain amount of carbs, fiber. Like your organs, your body's made up of organs. Your organs are made up of tissues. Your tissues are made up of cells. We're all made up the same way. Your cells need certain things, right? In order to properly process food, absorb nutrients, like all of it.
Yeah.
So I would say, yes, the increase of calories spread out throughout your day is important for your energy for a lot of different reasons. But a lot of people do fasting too. It's effective. It has a lot of benefits as well. I don't believe in extreme anything. I believe in balance. Like
Yeah.
in HerbalLife, we believe balance is like the key to all of it. Just understanding it will help you kind of shift a little bit. So for someone like you, I would say you need no less than 130 grams of protein a day. It's more.
Okay.
But at least that's a rock bottom.
Yeah.
Maybe 100. Even 100 is hard for people. You need 100 grams of protein a day. Where are you getting it if you eat once a day? It's hard.
Yeah, it is.
So and as soon as you wake up and you break your fast, the first thing you give your body is water tools. Like you want your body to get water, vitamins to feed your cells, wake them up. Then the first set of carbs is the brain needs the first set of carbs to be in alertness, right?
Okay.
So, of course, you want to give it something that's balanced, healthy, low calorie, high nutrients, right? It's simple. Like manage your disciplines from the beginning of your day. Like for me, it was hard because I was always busy. I was traveling all the time. Like I manage a lot of people and it's a high stress environment.
Yeah.
So for me, knowing that all I have to do was get up, have some aloe tea and a shake was giving me everything that I need. I didn't have to worry about nothing. It took me 4 minutes. 4 minutes, full breakfast, everything that I needed, move on.
Okay.
And then when they say eat 6 times, they're really saying like have like 7 to 8 almonds, which is easy to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like keep almonds in the car.
Yeah.
You know, keep some. I mean, I was going to say keep some yogurt in the fridge, but I have a refrigerator in my car. That's not normal.
Wow, that's definitely not normal. Wow.
That's so funny. I also prep chicken. Like I'll do chicken and put it in Ziploc bags. And then, I can make little wraps with like lettuce wraps or do tacos or like if you're not, if you have more calories to give, like you say you have a fast metabolism. I don't. If I ate like you, I'd be a whale in like 2 months. Right? If I ate like other people that have a fast metabolism, I'd be gone. But I do things to boost my metabolism. So like the tea is a metabolism booster. I have a tablet that's a metabolism booster. So I know my body enough to give it what I need to match kind of what we would get. But yeah. So I would say discipline your mornings. And then the smaller times of eating throughout the day, it could be a bar. It could be some almonds. Keep them in the car. And then you fill up your day.
Okay. See, that's consulting. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get paid for that. That's another market. For real, for real.
So I could, and I've been poached. Listen, I've been poached by people to create my own supplement brand. And for me, it's made no sense. And when I see people take the bait, because I see a lot of people who have a lot of potential in what we do take the bait and like switch over to other things. First of all, everybody's going to come for HerbalLife distributors. We're the #1 nutrition company in the world. Like $9 billion, publicly traded, biggest like shareholders. Like, of course, people are going to come for our people. Like, you can't recruit me.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I'm like, it makes no sense. Why would I go start something where I have to recreate the whole marketing plan? I have to put in all the legwork. When here, I'm really taking home, like, when I calculated for my personal business, this is just me, like 70% profit margin.
Oh, wow.
It's stupid, right? And so I feel like a lot of people don't know how to do it and they don't seek the mentorship. Like I didn't come in, my mom didn't know more than I know about business. So I had to go talk to people and I had to infiltrate and be like, okay, I want to know this. How does this work? How did that, like talk to people who were doing it on a big scale so I can educate myself. But a lot of people won't go through that process. So they'll take the bait when someone else says, well, come do it with me and I'll give you this and I'll give you that and I'll give you that. And then of course, HerbalLife is taking a turn. Of course, it's going back up. Like, it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Of course. Okay. Now, last question. Where do you see yourself? Well, everything that you're doing, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Where do I see myself in 5 years?
And that's with everything, financially, personal, you know what I'm saying?
When I started the business, my daughter was 11, 12. And my goal at the time, she's my oldest, Desi Blue. She's a rapper. And she's the oldest. And I thought to myself, okay, I have they're 2 years apart. So I have to deal with her. And right after I deal with her, I have to deal with him. They're like very close in age, like not even a full 2 years apart. And I'm like, okay, in 5 years, she might want a sweet 16. She might want the money. I have to, mind you, I'm living in my mom's house at this point with nowhere to live.
Yeah.
Right? Not even knowing if this was going to work.
Yeah.
I had no clue. I just wanted $50 a day, right?
Yeah.
My brain was, but I'm like, okay, in 5 years, I'm not going to worry about right now. I'm going to worry about what I have to do right now for 5 years. I want to be able to give her sweet 16 or give her money. I want to be able to give her first car. Like, I operate in 5-year plans.
That's what's
so
up.
It's interesting that you asked me like that amount of years. So I was able to do that at 16, threw her the most beautiful party. She was like an ice princess. I feel like that's where like her hip hop career took off.
That's what's up.
And where it was like the first hint of, wait, this girl got something, right? She can move a room with her words. And I was able to give her a Range Rover for her sweet 16
That is
from
what's up.
living at my mom's house, having nothing, right? To like having no car, nothing, to like building that in 5 years. And then, you know, Tito is just turning now 17, right? And he's going into his car and like he's, you know, they're living it out. So for me, life is weird right now. You know what I mean? It's like they're getting older. They have their own aspirations, their own life. They're not necessarily thinking about mom all the time. They're, you know, they're still in the dependent phase, right? Because it's like I'm their mom and it's been the three of us. We're a partnership. Like legit, any decision we've made, any struggle we've had, like we've done it together. Everything that we have, it's been me and my kids, and I've treated them like adults most of their life because I had no choice.
Yeah.
Mom has to go do this. Mom has to go lead a class. Mom has to go see a client. Desi, hold your brother down. Tito, hold your sister. Like it's been the three of us.
Yeah.
So
and that builds character too.
Like, it does. You know, it has built their character. Yeah. They're pretty gangster kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
I was the same way, you know, like me and my brother and sister were left home a lot, you know, to fix our own food. And, you know, because just like I told you, my mom worked 3 jobs and then my dad was out in the streets doing whatever. So, you know, we had to hold it down as well. But I'm glad that I went through that because now, like, and I talk about this on my podcast a lot. Like, you know, I used to be homeless. Like, I had hit rock bottom, you know, at one time, just staying out of my car and everything. And I'll tell you the story quickly.
I want to know your story. Yeah, I want to know.
No, you know, I had lost everything, and that's when I had a falling out with my whole family, and it was that pride that kicked in. You know, like I'd rather just be this way instead of asking for help. So one night, my car was like probably 3 months behind on the payment. So, and this is before they had trackers on cars, but they would be looking for your car all the time. So I had to like move in different spots. You know, one moment I was staying like Walmart parking lot, and the other I would wash up at a gas station and stay at a gas station and stuff like that. It was really hard. But one night, I didn't have any money, and I had a little bit of gas in my car, and it was really, really cold. I think it was like when we had that big blizzard down here. It was like January, February, but I was sitting in the car, and I had turned the car on just to get some heat, and I had accidentally fell asleep. And when I woke up in the morning, the car was cold, it was off and everything. Cried a little bit. I got a little emotional. Cried a little bit, and I was like, man, if you ever get me out of this space, I'll never go back. So that's the reason why I work so hard today. And, you know, it's had an effect on my past relationships because I was like, yo, I got to do this, I got to do that. Because I fear of being back in that space again. You know what I'm saying? But that right there really built character in me. And that's the reason why I work so hard. And I've always told myself I always loved music. So I always said, like, if I get to a point where I can help people, I'm going to help people. And that's what I do today, you know what I'm saying, with the studio, podcast, video shoots. I keep everything dirt cheap because I know how it is for a starving artist that, you know, that has potential but don't have any money. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's just a part of my journey that I went to. But that was the turning point right there. You know what I'm saying? And already living in a household where, you know, I never asked my mom for anything. You know, I wore hand-me-down clothes from my brother, my older brother and stuff. So it was really hard growing up. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's a part of me. So,
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Because I see so much of your story in my kids. And that's where, like, sometimes, you know, my mom is my best friend. When you talk about family, it's like, when it comes to my kids and my parents, like, I don't negotiate. Like, that's my kids, my parents, and my team. Like, those are 3 layers. I don't, like, I just have, there's no negotiating room. And, you know, it was difficult with my mom because she loves me so much and we're so close. She wanted to do so much, and she couldn't because she doesn't know how to guide me through this. You know what I mean? And she felt bad. I was in a little room, and I was like so grateful because I was legit. My pride was gonna have me in a shelter, not telling anybody where I was, going to the Bronx in a borough that I didn't know, so that nobody would recognize us. Having to travel all the way to Staten Island to put them to school, like your pride will have you do some crazy things, you know.
Oh yeah.
But when you're telling me your story, I'm like, for my kids, people tell me all the time they're so mature. Like they can articulate so well. Like I treated them like adults really early on, but still allowed them to have a childhood, if that makes any sense. Like I made sure I made enough money to, have them buy the shoes that they liked, to have them be able to go out with their friends, to have, whatever. But they also saw struggle a lot. And I was very honest when we were struggling. I'm like, look, we're going to hit a season right now. It's going to be 3 months of like, we're going to eat McChickens from McDonald's. Like, I'm not like, we're slinging shakes and eating McChickens. Like, it's what it is. Sometimes the shakes is all I had to give the kids, and only they know that story.
Yeah.
So when people see them now, right? When people see you now, it's like, you are in essence everything that you've been through compiled into the human you are now.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. So do you have any shout outs?
I just want to shout out Desi Blue and LJ Kappa. I just want to, I guess I would want to just celebrate my mom, my parents. They'll be married 50 years this year, and I'm grateful for everything that they've for all that they've been. I think I've never, even though we've been through so much, like I've never lost sight of what's possible through their strength and what they've been able to build together. And God, like I love God. I'll have me some God every single day.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's it. I'm grateful for you. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So much.
Fun.
Okay, now your social media.
Yeah.
That's the last thing. Tell people your social media.
So I'm on Instagram as Evie Fit. My Facebook is tapped out. I can't have any more friends. But if you wanted to follow, it's Evie Navarez.
Okay.
And those are my platforms. I think on TikTok, it's Evie Fit too.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And hit her up for business reasons. She is recently single though. So. So y'all hit her up for business reasons. Don't be trying to slide in her DM. Tell me, yeah, I saw your podcast now. I'm playing. I'm joking. I'm a joker. Yeah. But thank you for coming on. I really do appreciate it. For real. Like you have an amazing story. For real. Okay.
So do you.
There. All right. And as always, man, this is your boy Robert Metley coming straight out of the Metley Media Podcast, the dopest podcast in North Carolina. Yeah, I said it. The dopest podcast in North Carolina. And as always, pull up, shoot, edit, repeat. Peace.